auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda. Number 9, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Number 10, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank you all for joining the Bhakti Sangha conference call. Let us move to our next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all have joined the call this morning?
Hare Krishna, Nand Priya Narmada Mataji, Dandrat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai, Priti Dasi from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji, Dandrat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Go ahead, Mataji.
It's okay, Prabhu. It's okay. I can after you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dandvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. This is Arvind Das from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Arvind Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nanda Priya Namata Devi Mataji. From YouTube. All glories to Sri Guru, all glories to Sri Guru Parampara, all glories to Bhakta Vrinda Bhakti Sangha Jagati.
Hare Krishna, Bhakta Vrinda Padashraya Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nand Priya Narmada Mataji, Gaur, Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devi Dasi from Rana.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nandapriya Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. This is Aditi Devi Dasi from Canada.
Hare Krishna, Aditi Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Nanda Priya Narmada Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada, Shri Guru Maharaj ki Jai.
Hare Krishna, Shyamadori Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji and all devotees. Happy Ekadasi to everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Happy Ekadashi.
Hare Krishna, Nanda Priya Narmada Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karna Devi Dasi from Lincoln. Wish you all a very happy Ekadashi.
Hare Krishna, Indulekha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Happy Papa Mochani Ekadashi to you too, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Revati Priya Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Sri Guru and Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. Yashamati from Chicago. Happy Ekadashi to all dear devotees.
Hare Krishna, Yashamati Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Happy Ekadashi to you too, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Are there any other devotees who would like to introduce themselves?
Prabhuji is on the call, Mataji.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Sukumar Gaur Prabhuji on the call to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th canto, 10th chapter, 9th sloka. Before handing over the call to Prabhuji, I would like to ask Aditi Mataji to give brief introduction about Prabhuji. Mataji, please take over.
Hare Krishna. Devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. Happy Ekadashi to everyone. I'm very fortunate to introduce His Grace Sukumar Gaur Prabhuji this morning, and this is a brief introduction for him. His Grace Sukumar Gaur Prabhuji was born in Maharashtra, India in 1980, brought up in a social background where spirituality was often questioned. Later, he developed a natural taste for inquiry into the mysteries of God creation. Passed College of Engineering, Pune, mechanical engineer in 2003. He came in touch with the devotees of International Society for Krishna Consciousness in 2003. He found all his questions answered in the books of Srila Prabhupada. As a student of MBA Finance, he studied Srila Prabhupada's book and became a sincere practitioner. He joined the NCDEX National Commodities and the Derivatives Exchange Mumbai as assistant manager and worked for 3 years. Later, he took on a 2 years brahmachari training course in Sri Sri Radha Gopinath Temple. Mumbai was in Radhanath Gopi Temple, Mumbai, and was initiated into the Brahma Madhav Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj in 2010. He was in the youth preaching department and was in the seva of guiding the youth. He always wanted to share his joy of Krishna consciousness with the youth. So he gave up his job and decided to help the misguided youth by helping them understand the message of Bhagavad Gita. He joined ISKCON Chowpatty as a resident in 2009. Later, he was posted to ISKCON Nasik Temple. He is serving as a youth counselor in various colleges of Nasik. He conducted seminars on personality development topics in educational and corporate sectors. Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Welcome to the call. Over to you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for the introduction. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for giving your very valuable time and association to us this morning. It's been a while, Prabhuji, since we are on Bhakti Sangha. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Please take over the call.
Hare Krishna. Can you all hear me, Mataji? Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalan Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namaham Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminitanam Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatari Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavind Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna. So we welcome all the devotees for our morning session. Can we see the shloka, Mataji, if possible? Yeah, thank you. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 10. This is shloka number 9 that we will be reading today. So this is a very beautiful shloka and very pertinent for our spiritual lives also. Etavan avyayo dharma punya shloka upasate upasitah yo bhuta shoka harshabhyam atma shuchiti rishyati. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. If one is unhappy to see the distress of other living beings and happy to see their happiness, the principles are appreciated as imperishable by exalted person who are considered pious and benevolent. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. One generally follows different types of religious principles or performs various occupational duties according to the body given to him by the modes of material nature. In this verse, however, real religious principles are explained. Everyone should be unhappy to see others in distress and happy to see others happy. Atmavat sarva bhuteshu. One should feel the happiness and distress of others as his own. It is on this basis that the Buddhist religion principle of non-violence, ahimsa paramadharma, is established. We feel pain when somebody disturbs us and therefore we should not inflict pain on other living beings. Lord Buddha's mission was to stop unnecessary animal killing, and therefore he preached the greatest religious principle is non-violence. One cannot continue killing animals at the same time be a religious man. That is the greatest hypocrisy. Jesus Christ said, "Do not kill." But hypocrites nevertheless maintain thousands of slaughterhouses while posing as Christians. Such hypocrisy is condemned in this verse. One should be happy to see others happy, and one should be unhappy to see others unhappy. This is the principle to be followed. Unfortunately, at the present moment, so-called philanthropists and humanitarian advocate the happiness of humanity at the cost of lives of poor animals. That is not recommended here. This verse clearly says that one should be compassionate at all living entities, regardless of whether human, animal, trees, plants, all living entities are sons of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Yonishu Kaunteya Murtaya Sambhavanti Tasam Brahmam Mahad Yonir Aham Bija Pradapita. It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material world, and that I am the seed-giving father. The different forms of these living entities are only their external traces. Every living being is actually a spirit soul, a part and parcel of God. Therefore, one should not favor only one kind of living beings. Vaishnava sees all the living entities as part and parcel of God. As the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 5.18 and 1854, Vidya Vinay Sampanne Brahmani Gavi Hastini Shuni Chaiva Shvapake Cha Pandita Samadarshana. The humble sage, by virtue of knowledge, sees with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahmana, a cow, elephant, a dog, and a dog eater. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na shochati na kankshati. Samha Sarveshu Bhuteshu Madbhaktim Lavate Param. One who is transcendentally situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman, and he becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed to every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. A Vaishnava, therefore, is truly perfect person because he laments to see others unhappy and feels joy at seeing others happy. A Vaishnava is para dukkha dukhi. He is always unhappy to see the conditioned souls in unhappy state of materialism. Therefore, a Vaishnava is always busy preaching Krishna consciousness throughout the world. Hare Krishna. So we welcome all the devotees for this morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. So grateful to all of you for allowing me to make a presentation here on this topic. We are on the 6th canto, chapter 10. And here we will be having a look at the pastime of the Dadichi Rishi, how he gives his bones, and then the thunderbolt will be made and the Devatas will be victorious. Today's shlok is a very powerful shlok. It's also a kind of essence of the entire spiritual knowledge. So it's very difficult for me to speak today. I'm feeling very small because the tall order of the shloka which has to be attained and seeing my condition as a struggling sadhaka. So let's look at the shloka. The shloka is saying, Etavan avyayo dharma. What is the imperishable religious principle? Etavan. It is this much only. Punya shloka upasitah. And the famous and the pious celebrated people recognize it in this way only. This word etavan is very important because this much, only this much is the religious, is the real dharma. This is what the word etavan indicates. Now, what is the real religious principle? Yo bhuta shoka harshabhyam. Yo bhuta means any living entity, shoka harshabhyam. His shoka, his lamentation or his distress, harshabhyam or his happiness, atma shochiti rishyati. Now look at the word-to-word translation of what Prabhupada is making. Prabhupada, now atma means self, atma means mind, atma means body. There are so many things atma means. I am closing my video since the network here is very weak. So my video must be continuously moving. So kindly excuse me for that. Now Prabhupada is translating Atma as the mind. Very interesting. Prabhupada is giving a word to a translation. Now Atma here should have meant the person. When he sees somebody else's distress, he feels sad. When he sees somebody happy, he feels happy. Yo bhuta shoka harshabhyam Atma shochati rishyati. When there is shoka, he laments. When there is harsha, he is happy. So Prabhupada is translating Atma as the mind. Now, this is the point which Prabhupada wants to highlight here. If one mind is happy to see somebody else happy, and if the mind is sad to see somebody sad, then that dharma is avyaya dharma. This much is the only actual religion principle that has to be followed. And this is recommended by all the Punya Shloka, the celebrated and the famous people, Upasita. They recognize it in this way. Now, currently, if you ask me, is your mind on this level? Then it is very difficult to say yes, because it is not actually. So, what has been spoken in this shloka is that one has to be free of envy over a period of time by his spiritual practices. And it's really difficult for a sadhaka to deal with his envy. The exact opposite of envy is to be content, generous, kind, or be pleased with others. And these are the qualities that we are struggling to develop through our sadhana, through our seva, through our sadhana, through the blessings that we get from devotees. So this shloka is saying that one has to be free of envy to see somebody happy and we also become happy, and to become sad when somebody else is sad. So this is only possible when a person is contented in himself or he is pleased with others. Just like in Gita 4.22, Krishna says, Yadricha labha santushto dvandvatita vimatsaraha sama siddha asiddha kritva pina nibadyate. And Prabhupada translates it so beautifully. Prabhupada is saying, he who is satisfied with the gains which come of its own accord. Point one. Second, he is saying, one who is free of duality. Point two. Point three, does not envy. Okay. And who is steady in both success and failure. Fourth, then what will happen is never entangled, although is performing actions. Now, this very one line which Prabhupada is saying, one who is satisfied with the gains which come of its own accord. This is a very, very powerful line and has to be understood under all situations. Being satisfied with gains which come on its own accord. If we are able to reach this stage, then spiritual life will become very easy and simple. All the relationship difficulties which we are facing amongst family, amongst friends, among devotee community is due to lack of this one quality, being satisfied with the gain which comes on its own accord. Let's take few examples. Okay, like we live in a devotee community, and usually when there are festivals, we see there is huge amount of Mahaprasad that is brought in. But when the Mahaprasad is distributed, then at times we may get something or we may not get something, or we may get something that we don't want and we love something else that we didn't get. What is the emotion that rises at that time? Or if you don't like some devotee and the devotee exactly gets what you wanted, what is the emotion that arises in the mind? When some of my god brothers or some of my god sisters are respected more than me, they are loved more than me, they are cared for more than me, what is the emotion that arises in my mind? And the entire Srimad Bhagavatam from Canto 1 to Canto 9, n number of examples. What is Daksha? Daksha's example about, you didn't give me respect, Lord Shiva, and hence there is a huge crisis in their relationship. Parikshit Maharaj and Shamik Rishi. Parikshit Maharaj goes there and he expected some respect, but he is not getting that respect, and hence he becomes angry. Agatsi Rishi and Indratumna Maharaj. Agatsi Rishi thought he would be respected in the ashram of Indratumna Maharaj. No, he is not respected. He curses him. Jai Vijay and four Kumaras. Four Kumaras, such exalted devotees, go in the Vaikuntha planets. They are not respected there by Jai and Vijay. Jai Vijay gets cursed. Durvas Rishi Amrish Maharaj. Durvas Rishi expected respect. He didn't. And he is cursed. Prithu Maharaj and Indra. Prithu Maharaj getting so much of glory, name, fame. Indra thinks that should all belong to me. I should get all this. Why is he getting? And why am I not getting? And hence there is a huge crisis in their relation. Or in devotee community, we may come across, or in family, we may come across, why am I not loved like others? Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj was feeling, why am I not loved like my brother? I want this. What emotion does arises in the mind when we see somebody else getting that love, care, affection from other devotees? I want something. Chitraketu Maharaj wanted a son, he didn't get. He is not happy. And the entire event took place. Hiranyakashipu had everything, but he didn't have a son who was following his orders. He didn't get what he wanted. And then the entire event took. The point that I'm highlighting is, what are the emotions that arise in my mind when I see somebody getting more than me? Am I happy, or just like Prabhupada is saying, being satisfied with the gain which comes on its own accord? If I am, if Krishna has sanctioned only this amount of respect for me, am I happy with that respect? Am I happy with that glorification? Whatever I am getting in my life as sanctioned by Krishna, as per my karma, am I happy when I get that? Or when I see more with some other devotees, what is the emotion that arises in my mind? That is why Atma, Prabhupada has translated as not the Jiva, but as the mind. Why? Because Prabhupada is very clear. Soul as a person is already pure. What purification does he need? The entire gamut of purification is required for what? The mind. That is why Prabhupada is translating Atma as mind. When we are not satisfied with what we get as per our karma, then I feel envy to other devotees. Why is he getting more? Why is he getting more honor? Why is he getting more attention? And it comes in forefront when it comes to senior devotees. Oh, why that senior devotee is getting so many facilities? Why this? Why that? And even more when it comes to equals. Oh, we joined at the same time, we joined temple at the same time, we came in bhakti at the same time, and still he is being loved, care, and given affection more than me. So many facilities for him. Why so much for him? The factor of envy is there. Just like we sing this bhajan every day before we take prasad. Ek din shanti pure, advaita acharya ghare, dui prabhu bhojane bosilo. What is Bhaktivinoda Thakur saying? Shaka Kurya Swadane. Prabhu bole bhakta bane. And all the devotees along with Mahaprabhu are enjoying the prasad. Shaka Krishna Swadilo. This food has been tasted by Lord Krishna. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is so happy seeing the entire event, honoring just one event of honoring prasad. He is so happy seeing other devotees honor the prasad. He is not writing anywhere, oh, what a misfortune, I should have been there along with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. No, he's just happy seeing them take prasad. His joy is seeing devotees happy. So is it only pure devotees or not the other devotees? No, Krishna is very clear. All the pure devotees are following the mood of Lord Krishna. Gita 9th chapter, Krishna is very clear. Samam sarva bhuteshu namit vishishtu. I am equal to all. Okay, Krishna, you must be only equal to the devotees who are good. No, immediate next sloka. Api chetsu durachar. Let him be any, he can be any damn person, not duracharo, suduracharo, worst of the behavior. Bhajante mam ananya bhag. But if he has taken shelter of me, it is only a matter of time that he'll get purified and come to that status. So Krishna's focus is not on the durachar part. Of course, he will do the needful over a period of time, but Krishna is more concerned about the bhajate mam. Is he doing my bhajan? Is he involved in my bhajan? That is the focus of Krishna. So the point is, in devotee association, what responses are generated in my mind when I see happiness of a devotee or the distress of a devotee? Okay, this one more beautiful bhajan which is written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Shri Krishna Kirtane Jadi Manas Tohar Param Jatane Tahi Labho Adhikar. So he's saying, first line, first word, what he's saying, if your mind, again, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, same point he's saying, if your mind is always absorbed in chanting the glories of Lord Krishna with great care, then by the process of Shri Krishna Kirtan, you will attain transcendental qualification. So what is the means to achieve that transcendental qualification? Seva. Chanting is seva. Hearing Bhagavat is seva. Serving devotees is seva. Serving the deities is seva. Preaching is a seva. So what is seva meant for? Seva is meant to develop that transcendental qualification. Next, he is saying, in next line, he is saying, Trina dika hina tina akinchanachar. Apane manovi sada chadi ahankar. He is saying, you should give up false pride and always consider yourself what? Worthless. Worthless means what? I don't deserve this. Through a devotee, if this prasad is coming to me, then I am more than happy to accept. But if it is not coming, I will not interfere. By then, what I will do? Destitute, lower, and more humble than a blade of grass. I'll keep serving the devotee. If I get, it's okay. If I don't get, that's okay for me. Vriksha sama kshama guna korive sadhan. Vrati himsa tyaji anye korive palan. He's saying you should practice forgiveness like a tree, giving up violence towards other living entities. You should protect and maintain that. The same principle which the shloka mentions. We should protect and maintain others. Prabhupada is writing about animal killing. Violence towards other living beings. This is what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying in this. Same point that Prabhupada has made here. Violence doesn't mean only physical harm. It can mean through speech. It can even mean by envying somebody else. He's saying till the time we avoid this envy, till the time we avoid this harsh speech in interactions, it is very difficult to achieve Krishna. Very, very difficult. Jivana nirvaha ane udveg na dive para upakara nije sukha pasarive. He's saying in course of passing your life, how you should pass your life? You should never give anxiety to others. Same point, again the same point from the shloka. You should never give anxiety to others, but rather do good to them while forgetting your own happiness. Means my happiness should lie where? In giving happiness to other devotees. This is the same exact mood of the shloka that has been seen here in this above. Now, fifth point is saying, Hoile sarva guna guni mahashay pratishtha se chadi kori amani hruday. He is saying, now what should the devotee avoid himself from taking? One should thus become a great soul possessing all good qualities, and for that what has to be done? One should abandon all desire for fame and honor and make one's heart humble. Means glorifying others, giving honor to others should be my desire. I'm not concerned about my name, fame. Here is saying abandon all desire for fame and honor. My honor is being able to honor other devotees. That is the honor that I want, not my glorification. Sixth is saying, Krishna adhishtana sarva jive jani sada koribe sammana sabe adare sarvada. He is saying, knowing that Lord Krishna resides in every living entity, one should with great respect consistently show honor to all living beings. Point is, why I should be happy and sad in others' life event? Because I have to see that every jiva is connected to Krishna. Just like the shloka says, if somebody is happy, you be happy. If somebody is sad, I should be sad. Why? Because he is connected to Krishna. Krishna is worried about that jiva. And that mood of Krishna I have to inculcate. Seventh is saying, Dainya Toya Anyamar Pratishtha Varjan Chari Gune Guni Hoy Karo Kirtan. When these four qualities, humility, mercifulness, respect toward others, and renunciation of prestige, only in such stage can we continuously sing the glories of Lord Krishna. So if in my bhajan there is some problem going on, then we have to check what comes to our mind when we see the situations of different kind of devotees or different living entities. Is there humility? Is there mercifulness? Is there respect towards the other jivas or the other devotees in spite of their difficult situation? And third is, am I seeking prestige for myself? If these four things are not there, certainly it means that we have a huge amount of envy which we have to deal in our spiritual lives. And envy is the most subtle anartha. It cannot be understood till we have a certain level of purification. It's absolute difficult. You will feel that I don't have any, absolute no envy, but it will come to the forefront only when Krishna exposes it. We need huge amount of mercy to understand that yes, I have this huge amount of envy for fellow devotees, for something else, for this or that. And last point, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, Bhakti Vinoda Kande, Boli Prabhupada, Heno Adhikar Kabe Dibeyama. He's saying, he's crying. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is weeping. He's submitting at the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. He's saying, oh Lord, when will you give me that qualification to possess the above four qualities of humility, mercifulness, respect, and renunciation of prestige? We have to pray. There is huge amount of work to be done on our own selves. We are far, far away from Lord Krishna. Then how do we do all this? All these qualities will be developed only through proper service attitude, by considering all the living entities as part and parcel of Krishna. When service to Sri Hari Guru Vaishnava is done in proper mood, then these qualities will be developed. Just like he is saying, when will you give me? He is not saying, when will this come to me? This have to be given. This has to be imparted by the Lord. He is saying, when will you give this qualification to me? So these qualities will be developed when we serve in proper mood. And who is the owner of service? Who is the owner of service? 111. First look of Srimad Bhagavatam. Dhamna svena nirasta sadaku ukam satyam param dhimai. This is the first look. In that, there is one word called as Swarat. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, who is this Swarat apart from Sri Krishna? This Swarat is Srimati Radharani. Oh, why she is Swarat? Why she is independent? Because she doesn't have to depend for service of Krishna on anybody else. We all are dependent on her to serve Krishna. She is the proprietor of Krishna Seva. She is the owner of Krishna Seva. Okay, when will I get that mood of proper service? Dhamna Svena Nirasta Kuhukam. Kuhukam means that illusion which is created by the illusionary potency of Krishna will be destroyed. Nirasta. Only when that Swarat entity comes into picture. Then what will happen? Satyam Param Dhimai. Then I'll be able to see the final truth, Shri Krishna, face to face. Then I'll be able to directly serve Krishna face to face, Swarat, because she is the owner of Krishna Seva. That is why if you read the Chatushloki Bhagavat, the first shloka, Aham eva sam eva agre. This word aham is 3 times. Aham eva sam eva agre, nanyat, yat sat asat param, pashyat aham, yad etaccha, yo avashishyeto so asmi aham. Again 3. So why one word 3 times? What is Krishna indicating? Krishna is saying 3 things are eternal. First, Aham Krishna indicates I am eternal. Second, Aham Krishna says my devotees are eternal. And third, Krishna says my Dham is eternal. So this Dham is nothing but expansion of Lord Krishna. It is eternal. There is no entry for Maya. So this Kuhaka, that the first shloka which is saying, that Kuhaka, that illusion, will be removed only through the association of the Nitya Parikar, the Nitya devotees of the Lord. When they come into picture, then there is no entry for Maya. And no one can be allowed in Krishna Seva till it is allocated by Srimati Radharani. Till the internal energy comes into picture, nothing can be done. When the internal energy comes into picture, then there is no more Maya. Just like when Putana came, what happened? When Yashoda Mai gave birth to uh, two kids. One was a girl and one was boy. Krishna and the Ashtabhuja Durga. First thing what Krishna did, get this lady out of Raj. The Ashtabhuja Durga was first taken out because she is the illusionary potency of Krishna. He just take her out. As soon as she left, the entire Vraj was under the internal energy of Krishna. Even Putana coming was allowed by the internal energy of Krishna for the enhancement of the pleasure of the Leela. So the point is that internal energy has to come into picture. Otherwise, that seva will not fructify into qualities, giving you the required qualities. So what's so special about this internal energy? When she enters, then we start to feel more concerned about the devotees rather than myself, because this is the first gift that she'll give. So she shifts the focus from I to others, from me to the devotee community, from me to the mission. This is the first gift that internal energy will. The entire pastime, the pastime that which we are seeing is the same. Shift focus from me to others. Dadichi Muni is told to give up his existence for the sake of the demigods. And this is what pleased the Lord more than anything else. Similarly, whatever the Lord does is coming through his internal energy. That service comes through his internal energy. The devotee association comes through his internal potency. The Srimad Bhagavat we hear comes through the internal potency. What is that Shri in the Srimad Bhagavatam? It is nothing other than Srimati Radharani. Whose pride is that Shri? That pride is of Shri, Srimad. That Radharani's pride, that I have Krishna Seva. Krishna Seva is given through me. So what we have to be proud in our lives is the Krishna Seva, not the facilities that come with the Krishna Seva. And let's recap these 9 slokas and we'll come to the same point again. How things are so beautifully connected by Srila Prabhupada. Now let's look at this sloka. Just like I said, even everything that comes is through the internal, even the instructions of the Lord come through the internal energy. Guru, what is Guru? He is nothing but expansion of the internal energy. All instruction that we get is through what? The parampara. Where does the parampara come from? Srimati Radharani. Okay, now shloka number 1. In the shloka number 1, it is said that Sama Adishya. Lord Vishnu instructed Indra, head of the demigod. Okay. And what is the word that is used for the Lord? Vishwa Bhavana. Now, if you check in the folio, there is Vishwa Bhavana, there is Bhuta Bhavana, there is Loka Bhavana. All almost have the same meaning. What is Vishwa Bhavana? Is the original cause of the manifestation. He creates the universal affair. Second, he is well-wisher. And third is given that he is the one who maintains. So Vishwa Bhavana has 3 meanings. Original cause, well-wisher, and one who maintains. And exactly same thing is happening. How he maintains? He maintains, the word that is used here is Bhagavan. Bhaga means what? He maintains through his opulences, 6 opulences. And how does he do the welfare? Hari, the word uses Hari. Hari means he removes all inauspiciousness on the path of bhakti. So the point is, Shri Hari maintains the world or does welfare of the world is Bhuta Bhavana, Vishwa Bhavana. By what? Samadishya, by giving instructions. Following his instruction will create all auspiciousness in the life of the sadhaka, and all inauspiciousness will automatically be gone. So the Lord is constantly thinking about the welfare of the jiva every moment. Now you can say, how can you say this? Because the word that is used for the Lord is animishana. Animishana means unwinking. His eyes doesn't blink because he's constantly keeping a watch on each and every sadhaka. Now the point is, when the Lord gives his instructions, he leaves. Antar tadhe, he leaves the place. He disappears. In this world, Lord will not be present all the time, but his instructions will be present all the while for the welfare of the jiva. So he maintains this world by giving his instructions. If we follow this instruction, the entire world will be maintained. Otherwise, the entire world will be destroyed. Just like in the current position, what is happening, you can see in the on the planet Earth, what is happening. War all over. Why? Because nobody is interested in following the instructions given by the Supreme Lord. And has this situation happened for the first time? No. History has repeated so many times, but nobody is really ready to accept his mistakes and make the required correction. Same thing with Indra. Indra has committed mistakes so many times. And initially, if you see, Indra is glorifying the Lord by using the knowledge of the Lord. But did he actually mean that glorification in the previous chapter? No. Because time and again, Krishna has reminded Indra that sense enjoyment is not the thing that I am here to give. It is the bhakti part that I am more interested in. But all the while, Krishna is only and only interested never in bhakti. If you read this Bali Maharaj's pastime, beautiful purports by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and Prabhupada elaborates on that. In the purport, it is written, when Bali Maharaj came to know that Indra has sent Vaman Dev to him, he chastises not only Indra, he chastises his Guru Brahaspati. He says both are so foolish. The Supreme Lord took birth in their family at their place. The Lord is asking him, what should I give you? And this foolish person, Indra, is asking, what, give me back my wealth. So he wants wealth, and the original wealth he's sending to me. Who am I? I'm an Asura. This is what Bali Maharaj is speaking. He's then chastises Brahaspati, and Indra says, Indra, if you had, what was the need of sending the Supreme Lord to me for your wealth? If you could have told your Guru Brahaspati to give me what I want, I would have easily given whatever you left the wealth of bhakti and you sent whom? Your Guru Maharaj to get wealth for you. That I would have given you. So Indra is making the same mistakes again and again. He is never into the thing that he wants bhakti, which is the real wealth. Now in the second shloka, he is saying, Tatha abhyachito deve rishit atharvano mahan modamana uvachedam prahassam iva bharata. Now in the second shloka, when they come to Dadichi Rishi, Tatha, as already told by the Lord. So Dadichi Rishi also knows that the Lord has given them. What did they do? Abhyachito. So they are begging. From whom? Mahan, the great Rishi. Now, what was the response of the Mahan Rishi? Again, what came to the mind first? That is why Atma, again I'm repeating, Prabhupada has translated not the soul, not the person, the mind. What came to the mind of this Mahan Rishi? Modamana, he was happy. Prahasan, he was smiling. Eva, somewhat, not completely, somewhat means what? There was some other motive, there was some other agenda on his mind. Eva shows somewhat, means it was not complete. So now this act of being happy when somebody has come to somebody to this rishi is great sign of his progress. This act of humility was really pleasing not only to the demigod but also to the Supreme Lord. So this act of humility or this response of humility not only attracts the Supreme Lord, it has the power to attract anybody and everybody. Just like you see in the pastime of Kamsa and Vasudev. Vasudev's humility and his truthfulness was so attracted that even Kamsa was convinced that he will give his 8th child. So what came into the mind of Dadichi Rishi? Modamana. He was happy on hearing the request. Prahasan, he smiled. Not exactly smiled because he had some other intent. His inside out was not same. He was expecting something, but that expecting was something superior. Okay, so it is not condemned there. Externally, he said yes, but internally he wanted to scold them and refuse their request. Now he knows that they have come to ask for his bone. Asking for bones means you have to die. You have to give up the body. Third shloka. Now he says, when he understands their request, he said, do you understand what it means to give up the body? Do you understand the pain? Api vrindaraka yuyam. Oh, group of demigods, yuyam. Na janita sharirina. Don't you understand the pain that the jiva samsthapya means at the time of death or quitting his body, what pain he has to go? Abhidroha. He is not saying droha, abhidroha. Such severe, intense pain. Dussaha, unbearable pain. Chetana apa, it takes away the consciousness of the jiva. Na janita, don't you understand the pain that the jiva has to give, has to go through when he has to give up his body? Fourth shloka. And he is saying, don't you understand? Now look at the dialogue that is happening. Okay, it's very beautiful. Fourth shloka, now Dadichi Rishi is saying the intense desire of the jiva to continually exist is so prominent. The Sat aspect is so prominent. He's saying जिजी विशूनाम जीवानाम आत्म प्रेष्ठ इहेप्सितः क उत्साहेत्तम दातुम दीक्षमान विष्णवे. He's saying जीवानाम जिजी शूनाम, the desire to remain alive here in this body, pressed very dear, ipsita highly desired. Ka utsahet, who can bear giving up the body, even if Bhikshamanaya Vishnava, even if Lord Vishnu comes to beg. Now the demigods, when they are asked by the Dishi Rishi, don't you understand the pain that I'll have to go? Then the demigods say, yes, we know that it is huge amount of pain, but Lord Vishnu has requested for you. Then the Rishi is saying, it's okay, Lord Vishnu requesting is one thing, but the pain I have to tolerate. There Vishnu can't do anything. Because pain is pain. Whether you die naturally or you have to give body, the pain is pain. Pain is the part of the process here in the material world. So he says, even if Lord Vishnu is requesting, doesn't mean that the pain will be reduced. Okay, now 5th and 6th shloka, there is a fight, verbal fight between both of them. There is comparison between two categories of people. The great soul and the other is the selfish person. Okay, now 5th, the demigod agree with the painful part involved in the transaction. Now the demigods are speaking. Sadeva utu. Kimnutat dustejam brahman puman भौतिक अनुकंपिना भवद विधाना महताम पुण्य श्लोक idya karma. He's saying in the 5th shloka, Kim, what is difficult for you? Dustejam, what is so difficult to give up? What? The body? Now, the Dadichi Rishi is asking, why do you say so? Then they are saying, Brahman, you are exalted Brahman, Brahma Janati iti Brahman, Mahatam, you are very great, Bhavata Vidina, you are like Lordship, Punya Shloka Idya Karmana, your activities are Idya Karmanam, they are praised by all the great souls. And more apart from that, Bhuta Anukampina, you are very sympathetic towards the suffering of living entities, and we have come to your shelter. So please give up your body. So you can sacrifice anything, including your body. That means they're indirectly saying, please give up your body for our sake. Now, then the 6th shloka, Nunam Swartha Paro Loko no Veda Parasankitam. Yadi Vedana Yacheta Neti Nah Yat Ishvaraha. So they are saying, Nunam, certainly, Loka, materialistic people in general, Swartha Para, means they are indirectly taunting Dadichi Rishi, you are like ordinary materialistic person. Whatever praise that we have given to you, if you don't give up your body for us, then it will also apply to you. Whom you will be like? Loka, materialistic person. So Arthapara, only interested in sense enjoyment. Seeing actual reality, demigods are interested in their sense enjoyment. Na Veda Para Sankatam. They are saying you don't see the painful situations in which we are going. Na Veda Sanka. You don't understand our painful situation. Yadi Veda, if you understand, na yacheta, na aha, yat Ishvara. If you understand, then you should easily give up your body for our sake. You are donor, you are giver, you are superior to us, so you should give. Now, Prabhupada writes in this purport, there are two types of people here. Donor, one who begs, one who gives, and one who accepts. Okay? Now, Prabhupada is making this point, everything within this material world will be destroyed, and therefore it should be used for higher cause. Second point is saying, but now look at this point. Most of the devotees make sacrifices, but Prabhupada is writing when to do it if one is advanced in knowledge and understanding. Sacrifice done without proper understanding and without proper realization will create huge amount of impact in the life of a sadhaka. So many Srila Prabhupada's disciples, Sukava Mataji, I told you last time also, read her book. She did exactly, she kept on sacrificing, doing everything for mission. But at what cost? She did it at the cost of her own likes and dislikes. And later on, she had contracted cancer. And it was a painful journey for her. Why? Not advanced in knowledge means don't have the proper understanding. Sacrifice has to be done, but with proper understanding. A simple example is Satraji. Satraji was attached to the Shamantak money, but just to show, he gave that Shamantak money to Krishna. But Krishna understood his attachment to the Shamantak money will create more havoc, so he gave back the Shamantak money to him. How much attached are we to the body? Accordingly, we have to act. Just because we have to serve doesn't mean we extend our boundaries without coming to that level. We can't write a PhD paper when we are in 10th class. So things have to be done according to the mentors that we follow, according to Sadhu, Guru, and Shastra. Now, why is he able to give Dadichi Rishi his entire body? Because he's convinced, I am not this body, I have nothing to do with this body. Let it be used for a higher cause. So now the debate is happening with a classic debate between two levels of devotees. One is a Jivan Mukta, one has Brahma Vidya. He knows everything in and out, and he's practiced and he's fully completed his study. Okay, he is a Jivan Mukta. For him, what matters is only Krishna consciousness, nothing else. He has nothing to do with anything else. Is Krishna happy with me doing this? I'll do this. Another is a sadhaka who is attached. Now, here we have to understand what's on each other mind. Most of the time, the conflicts that happen in devotee sangha is because we don't understand what's there exactly on the mind of that devotee. He hides those things, he doesn't express it properly, and hence the other devotees are not able to understand. Okay. Now, here one is a donor, other is a beggar who has come to beg, and both have painful sides. Just like, take for example, money, hard earned money, very difficult to part. Even if you want to give to Krishna, it's still hard. It's still hard. Money, when hard earned, to give it to somebody, however great a cause it is, it's really pain. And the other person who doesn't have money has to go through the pain of not having that money, and not having money means not having proper facilities in life. Now let's look at the dialogue between these two people. Externally seeming both are acting like sadhaka, but one is a Paramahamsa and other is a sadhaka. Now the sage speaks his part of the verse. He says selfish people don't understand the pains of others. They request even after understanding the pain. Devata says selfish people don't understand the pain of others. When the donor has the power to give, still is refusing. So two people, donor and recipient. Okay. Now donor Rishi is saying, those who request and have attachment to enjoyment of Swarga, they don't know the suffering they are causing to others. Others means Dadichi Rishi. What they are causing suffering? Asking for bones. And he's saying, if you know my suffering from your good intelligence, because your Devatas means you should have good intelligence, then why are you asking if you have good intelligence? Means you are asking means your intelligence is like that of tiger. He only wants from others. He doesn't care about others. He is indirectly saying you Devatas who should have superior intelligence are not actually superior in this case. You are like tigers. You are only devouring somebody else for your own benefit. Now the Devatas became angry. Now the Devatas are replying. Donor who is selfish and attached to his own happiness. What is his happiness? Long life, good, healthy body. But he doesn't care for the sufferings of others. Others who demigods, who are attacked by other enemy, Vritrasur. And there they say, just because you are acting like ordinary man who doesn't have proper intelligence, you are like a cow. You are filled with lamentation and illusion. The Rishi is saying you are like tiger. Demigods are saying you are like cow. Both are cursing, counter cursing each other. You are less intelligent, you are less intelligent. Okay, so there is a conflict between these two parties. But then Dadichi Rishi in the seventh shloka, I understand what I wanted to hear and what they are speaking is all different. So he says, okay, wind up. I give my body. Now Dadichi Rishi says, Shri Rishi Uvacha, Dharmam va Shrutu Kamena. Are Baba, I wanted to hear some philosophy from you, some elements of dharma from you. Va Shrutu Kamena. I was desirous. Yuyam me Prati Yuddhadrita. He says, I wanted to hear something, but you spoke something contrary. You, that means he's saying you spoke something, some fancy words, but which were not absolutely connected to dharma. So he is making a sarcastic comment on them. But then he says, Eshvai Priyatmanam Tajantam Satyajama. He says, now I'll give up my body, and that will be my good fortune. What is my good fortune? What is the actual thing that came up in his mind? He is ready to go through the pain for the welfare of others. He is ready to part with his own body. Why he is ready to part with his own body? Because the very practical point is Tyajantam Santyajami. He's saying, Santyajami aham. Tejanta means body will give me up someday, even if I don't want to give up the body. This is the understanding which we all have to come. Tyajantam santyajami ham. Body is, however, going to give me up, because the word sharira is translated as that which moves. It is continuously moving towards death. How can you hold back something which is continuously moving towards death? That is why he is saying, Priyam Atmanam Tajantam Santijami. I am ready to give up before the body gives me up. So he is ready for, he is already prepared for everything that may come. And that is what Bhagavat also suggests. Start the preparation right now. Jad Bharat Maharaj prepared in his last life. Pandavas, when they understood Krishna is gone, they prepared. Parikshit Maharaj, when he came to understanding, he started preparing. All examples have started their preparation in time. Because it is not about the soul, it is about the mind who has to be made ready for that event. It doesn't happen all of a sudden. Renunciation doesn't appear in the mind all of a sudden, because mind is attached to some events and things. That is why sadhana comes into picture. And the sadhaka, when he's into the sadhana, he will be tested for three things. First is philosophy. Is his philosophical understanding clear? Krishna will surely check. Because some people, even after coming to Krishna consciousness, they say, this is okay, that is okay, everything is okay. No, Krishna will test the sadhaka. Parikshit Maharaj is tested in the sixth canto, in the same canto. What is the best means of purification? Karma, Gyan, or Kevala Bhakti? He says Kevala Bhakti is the best. Karma is like Kunjar Shocho, Gyan is like burning the bamboos. He says the best is Bhakti Yoga. Rest all methods are artificial. Just like giving birth to a baby, there is a natural process, there is artificial process. Natural process, parents come together. Artificial process, test tube baby. Both give rise to a baby. But one is artificial, one is natural. In artificial, there is no part of enjoyment. It is just mechanical event. And Prabhupada writes this in 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Ashtanga Yoga is a mechanical process. It is not a natural process. But just like, even if you want to have a test tube baby, you need the womb of the mother. And what is that womb? It is bhakti. All other methods have to be sheltered in bhakti, only then they will become complete. So why not take the direct natural method? Second thing, Krishna will test the sadhaka, is his eagerness to hear about him increasing or no. Third thing, Krishna will check how far is the sadhaka loyal to the process and parampara. If he is not loyal to the parampara, it is directly taken as he is not loyal to Shri Krishna. And without pleasing the parampara, it is very difficult to please Krishna. It is very difficult to please Krishna. When Dhruva Maharaj left home, when Dhruva Maharaj achieved his task, Narad Muni beforehand came and told Uttan Maharaj, your son has done the most difficult task. What? What is the most difficult task? He says, yes, please Lord Hari. Now, why is pleasing Lord Hari so difficult? Why is pleasing Lord Hari so difficult? Because Jiva lacks the humility which is the most essential for a loving relationship. Once that natural humility is developed, the Lord is ready to accept the Jiva under all situations. Opposite to humility is what? Pride. I have something, I don't need Krishna, this is sufficient, that is not required. Ras Leela, Radharani got proud. Krishna left her. She cried and she reawakened her natural state of humility. Crying means what? Krishna, please accept me. I was wrong. I need you. I was nothing without you. I will be nothing without you. Arjuna, Canto 1. His pride is broken through the coward man. For us sadhaka, it can be some disease, some financial loss, some loss of some year and year one. It can be anything. Why? Natural humility to arise. That Krishna, I was nothing without you. I will be nothing without you. And I cannot be anything without you. We have to come to that stage. And when we come to that natural humility arising state, we are able to appreciate the pain that the other party is going through, and we can be in a better position to serve them, get closer to Krishna. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Chaitanya Charitamrita, full of humility. Raghunath Das Goswami, Sanatan Goswami. My humility is breaking heart. Why? That is what attracted Lord Chaitanya. Tektva Deen Ganesha Kaukarunaya. 6 Goswamis leaving all aside their positions. Why? Natural humility. Krishna was running behind them. Krishna glorifies the tree of Vrindavan. Why? Naturally bending down because of their fruits. Naturally attracted the attention of Lord Krishna. Krishna personally went and touched each and every tree. Not only that, he's telling Dauji, Balramji, see these trees, they're bound down before you. They are so naturally beautiful. What was so attractive to Krishna? Their humility, yes, indeed. What more was that? Krishna saw that each part of their body is being used for what? Service of the society. Krishna appreciates this aspect that Dadichi Muni is showing here. Through these trees, he's saying they're struggling in rough weather, but what? What are they doing? Each limb of their body is useful for helping others. Everything, that humility. There is one story which comes between Tulsidaji and Rahim Khan. So once when Tulsidaji and Rahim Khan were walking, no, Rahim Khan is also a great devotee of Lord Ramchandra. So both of them were walking and they saw elephant. The elephant was taking dust and putting on his head. So Tulsidaji was asking Rahimji that why is this elephant putting the dust on his head? He has taken bath just now. And Rahimji gave a very beautiful answer. He said, this dust which delivered Ahalya, this elephant is searching the same dust of Lord Ram so that he can also be delivered. And when Tulsidas ji heard that he is so much connected to the lotus feet of Lord Ram, he started dancing hearing that answer. Point is, there is gradation of thinking which will come when one starts understanding things as they are. Okay, and the same point will come in the 8th shloka. There has to be some reason for the living entity. And what is that? Compassion for their suffering and extending oneself to help them. And this is the point which comes when the Gopikas, when they went through the pain, when Krishna left them, and when they found Radharani in a similar painful situation, and her pain was more intense than their pain. When they met Radharani, they saw her crying, they were able to connect to her pain. They were able to connect to her love for Krishna. She was experiencing the topmost pain. The gopis felt a deep sense of compassion for Radharani's suffering. So the finding of Sri Krishna was now more for not their pleasure. It was to give pleasure to Srimati Radharani. Because they had just gone through that intense feeling of separation from Krishna. And here is the Mahabhav Surupini, what kind of pain she must be going. So now keep my pain aside and to give her pleasure, let's find Krishna. This is the point that the shloka Prabhupada makes. And then comes the 9th shloka. If one is happy to see the distress of other living beings, then you should be happy. And in their distress, you should feel sad. Para dukkha dukhi is the real dharma, is the real dharma sar. But this can happen only when one has understood, one has developed the capacity to understand his own pains. Most of the time when we go through difficult, painful situation, we just want to get out of that situation. No, don't do that. Because there is huge amount of learning that which we have to get through the event. What we tell Krishna, just get me out of the situation, just get me. No, don't do that. There will be a huge loss. Read Bhagavat, first canto. Arjuna is revisiting all the good and the bad memories he has gone through. Kunti Maharani is revisiting all the painful memories. Bhishma is revisiting all the painful memories. Why? Because every event they could feel Krishna there. There are entire list of 10 shlokas. Arjuna is saying, Krishna, you did this for me, you did that for me, you were here, Krishna, you were there, Krishna. Kunti Devi is saying, oh Krishna, if you would not have been there, how would my sons be saved from the Lakshagra, from this, from that? They are revisiting to understand what is there, where is Krishna in that event. This can only be understood when we have developed the capabilities of understanding our own pains and pleasure. When I am not able to appreciate my own pains and pleasure, how can I appreciate others' pain and pleasures? A mother being deeply connected to a child can feel the pain of the child. So one has to at first understand his standing, what message Krishna has given to him through that event, feel the Krishna connection, and then as a byproduct of that feeling, the shloka will come into picture. We can be easily able to understand what that person is going through, what pain is he going through, just like the gopis. They went through that pain, they understood the pain, they understood their mistake, why Krishna left them. And thus they were able to understand pain of Radharani, and keeping aside their pain, they were ready to give pleasure to Radha. So this will happen through the procedure that Srila Prabhupada has given to us through the various aspects, hearing Bhagavatam, reading Bhagavatam, being in the association of devotees, chanting, and understanding the philosophy. Once this is done, then we can also start functioning on what the shloka says. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Please accept my respectful obeisances at your lotus feet. Thank you so much for your session and your teachings. I was not that attentive today. I ask for forgiveness for that. But whatever I have understood, I conclude in this way by my little intelligence that para dukha dukhi is what I understood. So I request all the devotees to come forward and ask their respective questions. And if they have any realizations, please go ahead with the realizations. Prabhuji, there is one question in the chat box, but that question is quite lengthy, and I request Rinki Mataji to come forward and ask the question, because I see that question has been entangled with many sub-questions. Rinki Mataji, if you are online, please come forward. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Mataji, are you there?
Yes.
Yes, Mataji, please go ahead with your question, Mataji. You can ask one by one question. Please go ahead.
Prabhuji, what you say?
Cannot hear Mataji.
Proper understanding. What you are saying by the proper understanding, Prabhuji?
Can't hear her voice.
Yeah.
Can you hear proper understanding? What you are saying?
Proper understanding.
Proper understanding of what?
Yeah, Prabhuji, you are just talking about the proper understanding. So do we need proper understanding while we are doing seva?
Yeah, proper understanding while doing seva is for whose pleasure am I doing this seva? What is the right mood of doing the seva? These aspects have to be understood before we start any service. So service is meant for purification, and when the purification is complete, then the qualities which are needed for us to enter the spiritual realm, that Krishna will bestow. So that is what I said in the class.
So what should be the manobhav before we start the seva?
Manobhav should be that whatever I am doing is exclusively meant to please Krishna. When I start any seva, just like Shabri, she was collecting so many berries, but for whom? Even she was testing all the berries, but for whom? It was to give pleasure to Krishna, so that he will get the best berries. So any seva has the foundational principle that it is done for Krishna's pleasure. So before starting, this has to be very clear. Just like sometimes when devotees go for backup seva, when the Mahaprasad comes out, now there is a huge fight. Oh, what I want this, I want this, I want this. Right? Because the principle is not Even that honoring prasad seva is for the pleasure of Krishna. Anything we are doing is for pleasure of Krishna. So that understanding has to be made very clear.
And Prabhuji, another question is, which prayer or prarthana we can say, son to be in bhakti or spiritual life? Is it the karma is blocking? Because he used to be in bhakti path when he was young, when he was a little, in childhood time. So is it karma is blocking some other way?
I'm not able to get your question. Karma is what?
Yeah, I'm talking about that. What kind of prayer we can offer to Lord Sri Krishna, Lord Krishna Chaitanya?
Prayer, see,
The
all
son to
prayers
be in
are
bhakti or
included
spiritual
in
life.
chanting the Mahamantra.
No, for son to be in bhakti or spiritual life in future.
Prabhuji, Mataji is asking that her son should do bhakti. She is wishing that her son. So what kind of prayers she should offer to Lord?
Even
that
Hare Krishna mantra, you chant, when you chant, you pray to Krishna that let my son become a devotee while you are chanting. And Krishna will make him a devotee.
Sometimes it looks like, Prabhuji, there is some karma is because bhakti is natural. And natural is supposed to attract the jiva, and he used to, and then he stopped. Is look like some karma is blocking. And when he's bhakti,
no, it is not karma. It is lack of sukruti. Okay, for feeling attraction to Krishna, two things are required. The past life reactions has to be reduced, and there has to be sukruti on the part of the sadhaka. When these two things are there, then the sadhaka will feel natural attraction for Krishna. And so for this,
yes, when you was a childhood, like 7 years or 4 years or 5 years, he was really used to hear, and he used to do all kind of the Krishna conscious, and then so that is, so it looks like it is there, all is there, but it just covered again, Prabhuji.
yeah. So it is covered due to some other activity. Okay, just like in childhood, he was hearing continuously, or you were being there guiding for him. Now what age is your son?
Yeah, but it's I think when their childhood is easy to.
What age is he now?
Oh, he is 17 years old, Prabhuji.
17.
17.
Yeah, so 17 means he's grown up. He has seen the outside world, and somewhere his mind has been attracted to the things, outside things, more than bhakti, and that is why he is not feeling that attraction for Krishna consciousness. His association has changed. So once he starts associating more with devotees, you will feel the same thing that he was doing in child. So it's power of association. The association has affected him now. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavata pranam. Very, very beautiful class, Prabhuji. As always, and thank you so much for your association after a long time. I think we can have your more classes now because time.
Welcome. Check it. Yes.
Yeah. So, Prabhuji, you said when Krishna was born, Maya Devi was also born, and he said, first take her out of Vrindavan so that all the Vrajavasis, devotees in Vrindavan, they can relish the nectarian pastimes of Krishna because they don't want Maya Devi in Vrindavan. So, Prabhuji, who was the Puranmasi?
Not able to hear her.
I think your network is not there.
Yeah. Who was the devotee in Puranmasi? She is asking, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
Puranmasi.
Who is Puranmasi? Because she, I think she was Maya Devi.
Yeah. Okay. So Purnamasi is the choreographer of Vrindavan. She designs all the pastimes. and her assistant is our Vrinda Devi. So as per her script, all the things will be arranged by Vrinda Devi. So she is more important than others, Purnamasi, because she leads all the pastime. She is internal energy of Krishna, and she is the one who designs all the pastime of Krishna.
So she is internal energy. That's what you said.
Yes, yes, yes. She is also internal energy of Krishna. She is also Yogmaya.
Internal or external?
And assisting her is Vrindani. तुमचा प्रश्न काय आहे की ती पण योगमाया असं?
नाही माझा प्रश्न हा आहे की पूरणमासी योगमाया आहे ना, तुम्ही म्हणे योगमाया वृंदावनच्या बाहेर पाहिजे, मग ही योगमाया वृंदावनमध्ये कसं काय आली?
ती महामाया बाहेर घेऊन जा, मग बाहेर गेल्यावर जे काही होईल ते योगमायाच्या कव्हरिंग मध्ये होणार, तिच्या परमिशननेच होणार. म्हणजे वृंदावनच्या ज्या सगळ्या लीला आहेत त्या योगमायेच्याच अंतर्गत झालेल्या. मग पूतना जरी आली तरी ती योगमायेच्या अंतर्गतच झाली.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, anybody else?
Now say in English.
Prabhuji, we need to translate the answer because
ते तुम्ही करून द्या.
Yeah, Prabhuji is saying that Krishna took out the Mahamaya out of Vrindavan, and this Puranmasi is the Yogamaya. So all the pastimes were happening under the influence of Yogamaya, and even the Putna came, and everybody, all the pastimes happened. All they were under the Yogamaya potency. Okay.
Okay, so if nobody has question, we'll stop the class.
Yes, Prabhuji, there is no more questions. I don't see any hand raised, but there is one message in the chat box from Lalita Mataji. She is, if you could go through it. She is saying about the instructions and your inspiring word about glorifying the Srimad Bhagavatam.
It is they who inspire me to come here again.
It's your mercy, Prabhuji. It's your mercy, and it's your glory also.
Not
it's
my
your
mercy.
grace.
I am just repeating what I hear. I can see them, both of them. Hare Krishna, Dandapram. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, we'll end the class with the permission of Prabhuji. Prabhuji, please give your association next time, and thank you for your enlightening class, and eternally grateful to you for your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, let us offer our obeisances to Prabhuji. Vancha Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
His grace,
Sukumar
Prabhuji ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.